When I said imagine if Persona 5 was a gacha game, I was merely joking. Persona 5, one of the best modern JRPGs of all time. I played it during the pandemic and never looked back. It got me through some tough times and reignited my passion for gaming. I then played Royal and it made the original game a million times better. Since then, I've been obsessed with this series, and I'm getting tired of it. I did play Persona 3 and 4 on PS2 before Golden arrived on PC and later Reload. They are great games, and I wouldn't call myself a Persona fan if I didn't think so. Some of the spin-offs are great as well. Arena Ultimax is a fantastic fighting game that continues the events after 3 and 4. Strikers is a great 3D action game that does P5 justice. Tactica, while it may not have the same story continuation, is a nice tactical RPG that is relatively short. What I really want is that next sequel game, a game that lives up to P5, a game with its own identity and theme, a game that'll be the next evolution that will leave a mark in the gaming world. And that game is Persona 6. I mean, the word 6 has an X in it. Persona 5, The Phantom X. It was under the title Codename X, and it would be the first mobile entry for a famous Japanese gaming series. While it wasn't confirmed at that time, it shared the same resemblance. It's like, tell me you're Persona 5 without telling me you're Persona 5. It was developed by Blackwing, a subsidiary studio of Perfect World in China. Of course, Atlus supervised the project, and it was region exclusive until it launched worldwide on June 26, 2025. It's also available on Steam, which is the version I'll be playing. Let's see what the world missed out on. It's fucking Persona 5 again. Now, saying this shouldn't brush off P5X entirely. There are differences that makes it a unique experience. Of course, there's the obvious. We'll get to that later. Our story begins at the casino heist, but there's this weird glitch effect happening throughout the scene. After the tutorial fight, a mysterious person attacks Joker and they go at it. The 3D cutscenes look stupidly good for a mobile game. The mysterious person lands a strike, making Joker feel fatigued, walks up, and shoots him right on the head. I'd say he's doing us a favor. It cuts to the same guy waking up in his room, frightened on what just happened. This is the protagonist you'll be playing as. As he falls asleep in school, he is transported into the Velvet Room, a place that exists between dream and reality, mind and matter. Igor tells the protag about the choices he'll make. His attendant, Merope, I think that's how you pronounce it, explains the room as a tunnel in a sea of souls. Ultimately, they believe protag has a desire to understand and pique his curiosity while living in a world that has lost all hope, which is why he's a guest in the first place. When he wakes up, he struggles to think about his future. He also struggles to ask a group of sociable girls to move from the stairwell. This is a sign that his desire may be fading. He realizes something is very wrong when a girl fell off a building and everyone else responds with weird reactions, saying she'll survive, there's nothing to live for, and wanted to capture it on video. Nobody is freaking out, calling an ambulance, nor asking anyone for help. Despite the next scene having a talking owl, a strange app that cannot be uninstalled, and an Uber Eats delivering man almost ramming his bike towards the protag inside the train, this is the weirdest thing that happens. He gets transported to the metaverse during the commotion, and the owl has a more creature-like look. He introduces himself as Lufel, and explains that the metaverse is another world based on the collective unconscious. It exists because humanity is losing hope and desire. Just then, shadows appear before them, and Lufel tries to fend them off, but one of them kicks protag right in the gut. Listen, if I got kicked like that, I would let them take my desire. Not protag, as he awakens to his initial persona and fights back. They reach the exit with a powerful enemy blocking their way. Lufel then gets serious, calling forth his persona. I've only known him for a little bit, and already I think he's the best Persona mascot. Lufel asks him if he wants to help him with his plan, which is to take back the stolen desires. From here on out, the game lets you traverse through mementos to go into people's palaces to steal their treasure from the help of Wonder and Cattle, their new code names. I get why protag is called Wonder. He wants to know why the world has turned out the way it is. I don't fucking get why Lufel is called Cattle. I think it's because Atlus likes to keep milking this game. Speculations are being thrown around as to where this takes place in the timeline. Some say it's after a specific ending from the base game. Some say it's before the events of P5. I believe this is an alternative timeline where the OG Phantom Thieves don't exist, and this is a new group taking the mantle. It's just that the public doesn't seem to remember them, or if it was made that way, so this is what I think. There are events where both teams interact within P5's palaces. How the hell does it make sense? I guess the metaverse combines both realities and shit. I don't know. There's more to the story and its world, but I'll let you discover that for yourself. All I can say is certain characters will join your party. They want to make a change in society and take back everyone's hope and desires. If you played Persona 5, this one will feel right at home, even more so with its gameplay. It's your typical Persona turn-based combat with some differences. 1, you only get 3 personas at a time. 2, the moves are limited to 3 per persona. 3, when you perform a 1 more, it's only limited to the attribute to that character's persona, and you must switch to another character to continue attacking. Don't worry, there are some good additions. Certain characters have passives that can help gain the advantage. Guarding gains a shield that protects your weakness, and the new Highlight, which is an ultimate move based on the character you use to deal major damage or help the party with healing or give stat buffs. You would think this would make the combat bad, but no, it's fun having these limitations and figuring out how to go about said limitations. Of course, it still has some of the Persona charm. Physical and gun attacks, elemental attacks, all-out attacks, my wallet getting attacked. Not only you have the metaverse, but you also have the daily life simulator aspect. Working part-time jobs, reading books, hanging out with friends, the works. When doing said activities, you raise your social stats, which unlocks more ranks for your confidants or synergies as the game calls them. You rank them by selecting the correct dialogue and giving gifts to level up their synergy. There is a bunch of new stuff to do, like working more places and joining clubs like band and soccer. There are also special events that'll give you goodies like material and gems. The best way I can describe this game, it's Honkai Star Rail, but with Persona. Each character has their own elemental attributes, sets of skills unique to them, and most of them you get from... It's because I said Lufel was the best mascot, wasn't it? This is where you'll spend your minimum wage on. The game calls them contracts, but the broader term are banners and or summons. You use tickets or gems to summon characters. Basically, you gamble in-game currency for a chance to get that shiny new character. I'm not a stranger to it. I've played my fair share of gacha games that I spent money on. For P5X, they're called Phantom Idols, and the story's reason is Wonder will summon characters that he knows, has met, or seen in his life. There are other 5-star characters, but there is a permanent banner you can get them from. There are also summonable weapons for said character that makes them stronger. It takes a page out of Hoyoverse games with having a 50-50 pity system. How it works is you are guaranteed to pull a 5-star within a certain number of tries, and you have a 50% chance to get that featured unit. If you pull a non-featured unit, you're guaranteed to get that featured unit in the next cycle. I summoned on Joker's banner and got Mona as my 5-star, so that means I'm guaranteed to get Joker when I reach 80 tries. Luckily, I got him on my 3rd multi, so I didn't have to do all 80 pulls. Thank God. But just because you got the character doesn't mean you can use them right away. You must use materials to level them up, their weapons, personas, and revelations, which are these tarot-like cards to buff them even more. You can pull them multiple times to make them even stronger, but your credit card won't enjoy that. Although I can't help but look at half of these characters and go, who the are you? I do see them from time to time, so at least I know they exist. I just don't care enough to use them if I don't know their background. I would be fine if they were in the main storyline, but right now there's like 4 characters in the team, with one of them not available until the next chapter, and at least another character later on, so who knows how long until they join. My biggest problem with P5X is that it is a gacha game, getting constant updates, releasing new characters, and adding more content to keep players hooked. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it sucks since I want to see how the story will end, and having to wait weeks, even months for the next chapter. Makes me think it would have been better if it was a full-blown single-player game. Even worse that this was first released in China and other regions in 2024, only for the whole world to get it 1 year later. Because of this, they need to catch up to implement content simultaneously. That means releasing a lot more characters for a much more limited time, not having features that the game already has, and not getting enough gems/tickets from events, maintenances, and updates compared to what the Chinese version gives out. Luckily, we have a roadmap regarding future content, but it's vague with only showing July and August. I wish they had a full plan on when they will catch up. I've been playing the global version of Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle since 2015, and it finally caught up with the Japanese version 10 years later because they were released 6 months apart. I hope it doesn't take that long, but I'm sure it will happen eventually. Spending money on it? That's a whole nother story. At the end of the day, being patient and not spending tons of money are essential to enjoy games like this. Persona 5 The Phantom X is a fun, free-to-play game that takes the series' themes and creates new stories, new characters, and new possibilities. While it's basically Persona 5 again, there are some changes that makes it stand out on its own. There has been some controversy with how they're updating and including things already in the Chinese version, like the 110 pity system, where where you're guaranteed to get the new character within 110 pulls instead of 80 with the 50-50 system, doing 160 pulls at most. There's also game bugs and not enough rewards / compensation for global players, but I don't think I'll drop it anytime soon. I love Persona and I'm interested in where the main story will go. However, I'm doing everything in my power to not spend money if this keeps up. I want to get all the OG Phantom Thieves, but that will be difficult given the circumstances. If I don't get every member, I'm okay with that. What I know about gachas is that it will take time for them to implement mechanics and giving lots of free gems that will benefit the players. But I won't be surprised if they don't, because all Sega cares about with these games are money, 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 money. It's in the honeymoon phase where it's a new release, so there's tons of rewards to collect and new events to dick around. Once it's over, I want to stay free to play, but knowing me, I might buy some gems, but I certainly don't want to. In the meantime, I'll check out other games to keep my distance away from P5X, like that Horse Girl game I've heard about, and it's another gacha. Shit, I might have an addiction.